a bit of a somatic exercise. So that's a body awareness piece. And feel free to be a part of this as much as you want if you want to join in on it, or if you're like, I just want to, rest or go for a run or do whatever you got to do. But this is here for you, and you're welcome to choose however much you want to be in it or not. And it's all welcome. So, yeah, I think for today, I'm going to lean back in my comfy couch with my super soft blanket, take care of myself. And then the invitation is to take a hand or your hands and place it anywhere on your body that you feel like needs attention. So usually we're trying to just kind of move towards care. Like, how do we care for ourselves? How do we care for each other? So anywhere that feels like it needs something, needs your own touch. Maybe there's multiple places. And then just tuning in how it feels to have a hand or hands here in this place. Maybe you felt more relaxed here, or just have more awareness in this area now. So we're holding our attention to this spot. And then we're adding in, if it feels good, to also focus, or see if you can focus on your breath at the same time as you have your hand or hands on your body. And placing our awareness in both these places, on the breath and in touch. There's no need to change anything. So what we're tuning into is our natural rhythm. Our breath doesn't have to be anything or change at all. We're just noticing what it's doing right now. You're welcome to stay here or move your hands around into other places, or stretch on up if you want to move. And as we're moving, we're just assessing where we're at today. Where are you at? Are you feeling pretty good? Are you feeling a little sleepy? Is there anything in this moment that you can do for yourself that would support that? All right, we'll just spend another minute here, giving your body its moment. And anything else that you feel like you need to feel grounded here and present. Okay. So welcome to stay where you're at, and I'm just gonna chat for a little bit before me and Jeanette are gonna chat for a little bit before we head into listening to Brian sing. So for folks who are coming in for the first time to the gathering, so the structure is something like we kind of do some housekeeping where we talk about things. Like right now, we're going to be talking about feedback that we've gotten, how we're shifting things. Brian then will sing for us, in which we are welcome to put ourselves in mute and sing along, or you can just rest and listen. And then we'll share a little bit about how things are going for us in this experiment. So I'm River. I always forget to introduce myself. Hello, I'm River. That's my name. My pronouns are they, them. I am on Nishinan territory, or so-called Sacramento. And so just some things that we forgot that we want to just address is we forgot captions last time. So we said that we would do that, and we did not do that last time. So we are making it a focus to make sure in the live discussions that this is available. And so we really want to honor that and make that a part of our live gathering experience. And then the recorded version. So if we're recording, it's just going to be us talking as the facilitators, and we're only recording our shares. So we're not going to record your shares, but it'll be up on the Teachable afterwards, and that will also have captions with it as well. So we have our community guidelines, and it might shift and change. So I don't know if Jeanette or Brian, if one of you would be willing actually to post that in the chat, that would be really great. And one of the things that we forgot that we wanted to add in is just to, I would say, like, no commenting on other people's shares. So that's something that what we're trying to do here is really like give people the opportunity to talk about their lived experiences, and also be able to share from about what's happening. And sometimes that stuff can be really vulnerable. And we also just kind of want to build this culture of consent. So we also are adding in, if you don't mind that someone is commenting on your share, to we have like a little hand emoji that you can put up in your box. So I think the way to do that would be under reactions. And I think the hand stays there. So we're trying to figure this out. So we're trying to do this in this online space, and like this may not work, and we might have to do it a little bit differently next time. But generally, while we're sharing, it's like we just want to be able to be in a place of loving witness to each other and to hold each other's experience. Now we do have the, like, if you resonate with what someone's saying, then we have had like the fingers, like, me too. But we want folks to be able to say, yeah, that's okay with me, or no, I don't want to, I just want to share, and I don't really want people to respond to it or to make a comment on it. So we're going to try that out. So I'm going to go over the group guidelines right now since they're up there. So we have confidentiality. So that would be, whatever happens in here stays in here. This doesn't go outside of this gathering. So if you want to talk about with your loved ones or something like that about what you're experiencing or how the gathering was, to just really talk about I statements and to not use people's names or their shares or things like that. And so then we have practice using I statements, which is a part of that when you share. So this is really about like what's happening with you and your experience in this. And then to not comment on other people's shares unless they have given the consent or even request for it, by putting the hand emoji. So we can talk about that in your own share of like how you feel about that if you want to. Just general respect for yourself and others. Don't yuck someone else's yum. That's probably falls a little bit more under don't comment on people's shares. But if someone, we come from a wide variety of experiences and body stories, and we might be really enjoying something, and it might not be for everyone, and that's okay. But we want to just honor what people like. So move up your listening or move up your sharing is an invitation. So and your share, you're welcome to share more if you'd like. If you're like, I know for me sometimes I get really nervous, so I tend to not want to share a lot. But so it's been interesting to kind of like give myself some more space to see what else is there. Radical compassion for yourself and others. You belong here. Trust the process. And then be your own authority. Take care of yourself throughout this. If you need to use the bathroom, go use the bathroom. If you need to pause your video, have your video off the whole time, lie down, move around, eat, go for a run, whatever feels really good, or clean your house. So that's all welcome. And we'll continue to add to these. So if there's anything that you're like, oh, that would be really cool, please let us know. We would love to have that. Okay, so I think that's it. And I'm going to pass this off to Jeanette.
Hi all. Jeanette. So we're going to play around with this concept we use in language.
I'm not hearing Jeanette. Wait.
Really?
Are you guys hearing Jeanette? Oh,
okay.
No, it's something with my...
So everyone
okay,
River. Yeah? Okay, so River knows this, so I'll keep going. Brian, maybe you can tell River, I'm just going to go ahead. So at language hunting, we use this idea of these spheres of familiarity. And it's kind of like this invitation to assess where you're at right now and what you want to be doing and what your capacity is and what your desire is. So when we're playing language, like when we're hunting language together, there's someone who's like fluent, and then the rest of us are playing, like we're actively playing this game with that person, trying to draw the language out and gather it. And so we're calling that the curious engagement sphere. It's like you're most in it, you're really active, your brain is super like on fire. And then there's this sphere outside of that called extended family, where you're just kind of watching and maybe you're playing along or maybe you're singing this. So in this case, it would be like curious engagement, you're singing the songs or you're listening to it, you're doing the body exercises and you're watching my video. And then an extended family is like maybe you want to sing or maybe you want to just listen along, but you don't really want to do like a whole lot of questions and body like reflection stuff. You want to be a little bit more mellow. And then the meadow is the like farthest out section. It's the place where you're like you could literally like be here but have a nap, but just have us on. Or you could be like doing your dishes and having us on. It's like you want to be here, but you got other stuff to do, or you want to be here, but your like capacity is really low and you want to kind of rest. So these spheres are designed to help you both assess where you're at and know that we like really celebrate however you want to be present, and there's no expectation of what you do or don't do. So we chatted with somebody who was going through the experiment and was like, I like this, but it's like a little too much for me. And we were like, oh, well, why don't we bring in the spheres of familiarity to the experiment? So if you haven't looked at this week's yet, or if you have and you're curious, we've organized it that way. So there's like a little explanation when you first get to Teachable that's like, it's a choose your own adventure based on how you're feeling. And then you can do the meadow path, which is just going to be Brian singing and like 2 body awareness questions. Or you can go to extended family, which is a video of River talking about body stuff, Brian singing, and a few more questions. And then a curious engagement is like the whole stuff that you would get previously. And this is to like make it easier if you're like, I don't know how to pick this apart. You could go on our method. And it's kind of to go like another step to be like, we fully support and encourage you playing with this however you like. So if you have Like if you go through it and you're like, this didn't work for me, I didn't like this, feel free to let us know. If you went through it and you're like, this was great, I liked it a lot, and you want to let us know, or you're like, I have an idea of how this could be done, we're super open to hearing it. And we really appreciated having the person reach out to us and be like, this didn't work so much, because we could just pivot. So we just chatted with them last week and then had a meeting, the three of us, and we're like, okay, let's try something new. So thanks for your like feedback and engagement and helping us make this more enjoyable and accessible. And we're thinking next week, once you go through a week with Meadow and extended family and curious engagement, if you wanted to come, like my name was adjusted because I had been practicing with this while we were hanging out together. Like you could even add to your, say, like I won't do this today, but let's say I was like, I want to be in the Meadow. And then it's there. And so, like I'm not going to be sharing. I'm going to be doing something else, even my camera's off. So we'll play with that next week. But for now, just know that it's an invitation to see how you feel and if you like it. I'm going to get rid of Meadow from my name. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for now. Sloan.
Thanks. I realized that I couldn't hear anyone at first, so I'm sorry if I was talking and anyone else was trying to talk or anything, that I wasn't ignoring you if that was happening. I just didn't have my audio hooked up correctly. So, yeah, I think what we're gonna do then now. I just wanted to add to the spheres. What's interesting about it is that um, it's really like, and the invitation is to keep checking in with yourself and getting used to doing that as a practice of like how wherever you are is welcome. And if you can keep practicing assessing where you're at and then meeting your own needs with that as we go along. So just helps to build a practice of doing that.
The only thing I would add, River, too, is you and I have been playing around with the Meadow in language hunting. And what we're noticing is each time we do it, we like give ourselves a little bit more permission. It's kind of like this elastic band. It's like we think we'll feel comfortable giving ourselves permission to like not really participate. And then we do it and we're like, oh, that felt good. And then we like move a little bit farther. So yeah, invitation to be really playful with it.
Yeah. I spent the one of Brian's language hunting things in the meadow by taking a nap. And it was really cool because I could actually hear Brian and I was sleeping at the same time. So I feel like it kind of incepted my dreams a little bit, which was like a whole other way of learning. I really appreciated that. So yeah, we're excited to share this with y'all. And up next, we're gonna be able to listen and sing along with Brian. So we'll have our microphones on mute. We'll stay on mute so we can. Language hunting is, so Sienna was asking in the chat what language hunting is. That's a really good question. This is I don't know if Brian, you want to share a little bit about it, or if you'd like me to before heading in, but you're the most familiar with it.
Sure. Yeah. Language hunting is a decolonized form of language learning through gameplay that utilizes contract sign ASL. And so instead of me writing language up on a board, teaching it kind of conventionally, the way that most education systems do it, I introduce bite-sized bits of language and we play through it using kind of the questions of journalism and passing around the language within a group. And so it's a great way to embody language very early on, very different from trying to learn to read and write in a language first, which is generally how we're taught to learn language. And it's not necessarily the very best. And it doesn't, especially with minority languages, it doesn't produce the outcomes that we really require within a minority community language.
So we're using this with Irish. It's going to be the next thing we offer is learning Irish through gameplay, and there's no English involved. But what we notice is it brings up, we've done it with a beta tester, both Asia and Jamie came through our beta testing program, and it brings up a lot of feelings because you learn a language with absolutely no English. And so we thought that the song program was the gentle way to start introducing some of these concepts. And so we're planning to do song as our building, and then we'll move into language next.
Okay, so I think this is, yeah, we're going to be listening or singing to Brienne. So the invitation is to make yourself comfortable in whatever ways feels good, and I'll hand it off.